All right, let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about one of the most incredible engineering projects happening on the planet right now. India's plan to build a massive network of electric superhighways. This is a huge story about technology, unbelievable scale, and of course, green energy.
So, what is the core problem we're trying to solve here? Well, imagine this. India has these amazing renewable energy resources, right? But the very best places for solar and wind power are often hundreds, sometimes even thousands of kilometers away from the big cities and industrial centers that are just hungry for that electricity. And this really lays out the challenge perfectly. You've got these sun-drenched deserts in places like Rajasthan and Gujarat, and windy coastlines down south, but all the major demand is packed into these dense urban areas. So the giant puzzle is, how do you move all that clean power across the country without losing most of it on the way?
Okay, so how do you solve a puzzle that big? Well, engineers are turning to a pretty amazing technology. It's really the hero of our story today, high voltage direct current, or as you'll hear it called, HVDC. This is the secret sauce for building these electric superhighways.
So, what exactly is HVDC? The easiest way to picture it is like a dedicated express lane on a highway, but just for electricity. It's a system built specifically to move enormous amounts of power over huge distances, way more efficiently than our regular power lines. The key phrase here is minimal power loss.
And this is why it's such a game changer for India. Just look at this comparison. For the really long distances India has to deal with, we're talking over 600 kilometers, HVDC has way lower power loss. Plus, it needs less land for its corridors, and, get this, it can even connect different regional power grids that aren't perfectly in sync with each other. It's almost like it was custom-made for India's geography.
And let me be clear, this is not just some idea on a drawing board. India has actually been building these electric superhighways for years. A huge part of this national clean energy grid is already built, and it's up and running as we speak. Just take a look at the sheer scale of these projects. The Raigarh-Pagalur line, it stretches over 1,800 kilometers and can move a mind-boggling 6,000 megawatts of power. That's the kind of output you'd get from several huge power plants combined. These things are true engineering marvels.
So you might be asking, what does all that add up to? Well, the combined might of these superhighways is just incredible. Right now, India's HVDC network can move about 25 gigawatts of electricity from one region to another. To put that into perspective, that's enough juice to power tens of millions of homes, all flowing silently across the country every single second.
But here's the kicker. That amazing network we just saw, that's really just the warm-up act. The next phase of construction is even more ambitious, and it's all being driven by one massive national goal: building a truly green future.
And this is that goal, 500 gigawatts. By 2030, that's how much of its energy capacity India wants to get from non-fossil fuel sources. I mean, wow, this isn't just a big number. It's one of the boldest clean energy targets anywhere in the world, and it's the engine driving this entire superhighway expansion.
Because think about it, to make that 500 gigawatt number a reality, you absolutely have to have a way to move all that green energy around. You can build the biggest solar farms in the world, but if you can't get that power to the cities, what's the point? That's why these superhighways aren't just a nice idea, they are completely essential. And the next wave of projects is already on the books. We're talking brand new mega projects designed to connect directly to renewable energy hotspots. A massive line from the solar parks in Badla, a seriously ambitious project to bring power down from the Himalayas in Ladakh, and a bunch of new lines from that giant Kavda Renewable Park in Gujarat.
And if you want to understand the impact, just look at one of these new lines. The one from Badla to Fatehpur, it'll carry enough electricity to power about 60 million homes. Just let that sink in for a second. One single power line powering a population that's bigger than most countries. It's just staggering. So what does this all look like when you zoom out and put it all together? Well, it's nothing short of a flat-out race to 2030. We're witnessing a period of totally unprecedented construction to build out this national energy backbone at a truly incredible speed.
This growth curve is just wild. We're starting at around 25 gigawatts today. By 2027, that's expected to shoot up to as much as 45 gigawatts. And then, in just the 5 years after that, they're planning to add another 32 gigawatts on top of it. The pace here is just breathtaking.
And you can really see this momentum building. A huge link comes online in 2021, another massive one gets the green light in 2025, and the next one after that is already aiming for the late 2020s. This isn't a slow and steady project. It's a continuous, high-speed rollout of absolutely critical infrastructure.
So this all brings us to the big question at the end. We've seen the massive problem, the brilliant technology, and the incredible ambition. When you look at the scale of what India is trying to do and the sheer power of this technology, you have to wonder, are we watching right now the construction of the single most important key to unlocking a clean, sustainable energy future for over 1 billion people?